If the lovers represents choice and the integration of opposites, the next stage of the journey is movement. The chariot symbolizes will directed forward, controlled power, and the tension between opposing forces held in balance. Where the lovers asks, "What will you choose?" the chariot asks a more demanding question: "Can you govern what you have chosen?" It is no longer about emotion or attraction. It is about direction. Not passive growth like the Empress, not inherited structure like the Emperor, but deliberate momentum. The chariot is the archetype of mastery over duality. From a Jungian psychological perspective, the chariot reflects the emergence of a stable ego, capable of navigating inner conflict without fragmentation. The black and white sphinxes represent polarity. Conscious and unconscious, shadow and persona, desire and restraint. The charioteer does not visibly restrain them with reins. Authority here is alignment, not brute force. Control is not suppression, but integration. Psychologically, this is the stage where identity becomes self-directed rather than reactive. The individual stops oscillating between impulses and begins channeling them toward a defined aim. Without integration, movement becomes destruction. With integration, movement becomes creation. In Greek mythology, the image evokes Apollo, who drives the sun across the sky each day. Apollo represents clarity, rational order, and illumination. The solar journey is not chaotic. It follows rhythm and structure. Yet Greek myth also offers a warning through Helios and his son Phaethon, who fails to control the chariot and nearly destroys the world. The message is precise. Power without discipline leads to collapse. Mastery requires maturity. In Roman symbolism, the triumphal chariot represented earned victory. Authority proven through discipline rather than impulse. In Egyptian imagery, the chariot parallels the pharaoh as protector of cosmic harmony, defending order against chaos. The starry canopy above the charioteer in many tarot depictions suggests alignment with higher structure. Action synchronized with something greater than ego. Christian symbolism echoes this disciplined forward motion in the metaphor of running the race with endurance. Spiritual life is not static belief, but directed effort. Faith in motion demands resilience. In Buddhism, the concept of yana, meaning vehicle, mirrors the chariot's essence. The path toward awakening requires structure, discipline, and right effort. Buddhist philosophy also uses the chariot metaphor to describe the composite nature of the self, implying that identity itself is structured and must be consciously governed. Movement without awareness becomes illusion. In Islamic and Sufi thought, the principle of jihad al-nafs, the inner struggle against lower impulses, reflects the chariot's symbolism. True conquest is not external domination, but internal alignment. Power must first be mastered within before it can be expressed outward. In Norse mythology, the image strongly resembles Thor, who rides across the sky in a chariot pulled by goats. Thor represents strength harnessed for protection, force guided by responsibility rather than chaos. Even Odin embodies directed will through relentless pursuit of wisdom, illustrating movement powered by intention. From Joseph Campbell's monomyth perspective, the chariot corresponds to the stage where the hero commits fully and begins to overcome obstacles through disciplined action. It marks the shift from realization to execution. Insight alone is insufficient. Direction must follow. Across tarot traditions, whether in the Rider, Waite, Smith deck, the Thoth deck designed by Aleister Crowley, or earlier historical variations, the core symbolism remains consistent: structured momentum. The armored charioteer represents protection and discipline. The sphinxes symbolize polarity held in tension. The square on his chest represents stability. The city behind him suggests departure from the familiar into purposeful forward movement. Unlike the lovers, which centers on emotional choice, the chariot centers on controlled implementation. If the fool is potential, the magician is conscious power. The High Priestess is hidden knowledge, the Empress is life, the Emperor is structure, the Hierophant is tradition, and the Lovers is choice, then the Chariot is direction. It represents momentum without chaos, strength without brutality, and will without fragmentation. The journey that began in innocence now accelerates, not through impulse, but through mastery.